time here? I've seen it before. Because they're now on the rotating basis. Because only can cater for 50 students one time. I'll tell you all later.不用，无所谓。记得。OK， 那个是结束的时候。我们先拜佛没关系。你讲话应该他听得懂了，讲华语他们听得懂了，讲英语也可以。Okay, before we start, anything want to ask me? There's a student asked me a question. I will answer it later on. Wondering whether she's around. It's okay. As you all know, even those cannot come for the class, they can see through the video, right? YouTube. Yeah. So far, okay. I mean, for you. Now, if you couldn't understand whatever, you can just, before the class, you just write on the paper. You just put on my table. So, I will try to find some time to answer your question.
好，大众起立。
wait, I have to wait for 那个谁来。Wait for what? Because 那个 computer man haven't come. 他说 wait for him 5 minutes. 那等他5分钟，等一下。he said on already. Okay, so please stand up.
大众起立。大众向法师行。
没有，先拜佛。Okay, you just follow me. Please hold your palm. And 3 bows to the Buddha. First bow. Second bow. Third bow.
好，大众向法师寻商问讯。
Okay, one bow will do.
一问讯。
Okay, take a seat. Okay, one bow.
再问讯。
不用了，one bow.
三问讯。
Okay, please take a seat.
大家请坐，谢谢。
Okay, as usual, we will wait for the latecomer. Sorry. Now, as usual, we do the chanting the Buddha's name, Bodhisattva name for around 10 minutes. This one is just to foster or to nurture our religious spirituality. At the same time, it's sort of like meditation, because you are using the mindfulness of Buddha or the name of the Bodhisattva. And just come down first, so before we kick off the class. Okay, please hold the palm and follow me. 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观 世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无 观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。Okay, please follow me. You recite 3 times of Shakyamuni Buddha name. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。Okay. All right. Good morning, all the brothers and sisters. Please refer to your textbook. Page 12. I'm not wrong. Page 12. Right? Praise for the virtue of the Buddha. Now, before I continue our lectures, there's 2 things. One is to answer the Q&A from the last lesson from one of the students. Now, but before I do that, according to the organizer here, we should appreciate them to all the volunteers, organizers to make this Dharma class possible. And as you know, because due to the COVID-19 pandemic, so government very strict the rules and regulation. So therefore, I want to take this golden opportunity, right, to remind everybody. We should play our part, and Singaporean, especially Singaporean, we also take things for granted. Basically, you say, low community cases, whatever. As you know, you say 4 cases, right? One of the researchers from NUS and colleague and his brother and so on and so forth. So end up with 4 cases, and we cannot take this thing for granted. As this is normal, we can come here now. We can cater for 100 or 150 students for classes. Now, but having said that, that is subject to is under control. But what happens in future if everybody breach the rules and never put on masks and so on and so forth, and the thing come back again, go back to circuit breaker, the phase 1, then we have to stay at home and e-learning and so on and so forth. So, so now the organizer, they make it this way. I mean, for Buddhist Lodge, they told me instead of the first lesson at the 7th floor, ask 100 students can attend in the class, but now they somehow rather reduce to 50 students come to the class. In other words, the rest of students have to e-learning, right? You learn from home or whatever. But as I told you before, I prefer come to the class, right? Because interaction 2-way rather than 1-way ticket, right? And sometimes I can enjoy my joke, but through the video, I don't know. Of course, e-learning to advanced technology, of course, this is a trend, and probably it's a trend in future. It's just I'm teaching my college. During the phase 1, those student monks, they are in their country, whether in China, Myanmar, Southeast Asian country, they cannot come back to Singapore to study. So therefore, you have to use the e-learning. But e-learning, I find it not so good. For me, I just talking to the wall computer. No emotion, just motionless, no emotion. And then those students, we don't know whether they are follow e-learning. Who know? Don't know. So that's the problem. Okay. So everybody play the part to make these things smooth, and as long as you finish the whole textbook, that will be more than 1 year next year. That's for sure. All right, because once for every 2 weeks the lesson. Now, so secondly, there's a question asked from the student. I think I told her, say, you don't mind I answer in the class, so perhaps the rest of the student you might want to know also, right? Now the question is, you say if birth is suffering. Now, of course, according to Buddhism, human beings we born in this world, all are suffer, right? So cool, dukkha. Sanskrit called dukkha. Now, so and because of that, and you know the Four Noble Truths, the first truth is suffering, dukkha. And some people misunderstood that they have very kind of pessimistic, the kind of negative thought. They thought, oh, very pessimistic, life is suffering, so I cannot enjoy my life, There's no motivation, and so on and so forth. So end up, you can see most of the time you go to the temple or those, if you ask them, they are Buddhists, and their behavior, you can see that it's very negative, I can say very abnormal. I told you before, when I was studying in England, I went to the church, and you can see the Christianity, those Christian people, they are very energetic, very lively, and very positive, But on the other hand, Buddhists are more negative. Don't Christianity, when they wake up early in the morning, they will say, oh, God bless me. Cross, God bless me. There's a new hope for the one day, new day for me, But unlike for Buddhists, wake up already, sian, I don't want to go to work. Very moody, sick already. Everything is negative one. So this is a lot different in terms of mentality. Right? So I believe if you study the Dharma class here, and you know that because I'm very open one. But having said that, not totally because that was influenced by Western culture. I went there for study or whatever, because rather than I more or less I know the true spirit of the Dharma. When I was a Buddhist, or even before I ordained as a monk, I'm just like you, very pessimistic. I came here before, more than 30 years ago, when I was young, and that time and now is different, because that time you want to attend the Dharma talk and Dharma classes is very unlikely, it's impossible. So many on chanting, the kind of thing. So I think you're considered very lucky, very fortunate to born in this generation, and now the Dharma classes in Singapore is so common, very popular. But having said that, I told you before, there's so many Dharma classes, then you have to choose, in terms of syllabus, in terms of teacher, of course, because if the teachers got some negative more thought, and when they instill or impart the kind of Buddhist knowledge to you, everybody just follow accordingly. So therefore, the speaker is also very important. Now, so we back to this question. That's called suffering. Of course, birth is suffering, life is suffering. So then should we encouraging the younger generation to have children? Encourage younger generation to have children? Of course, in Singapore, in the past, because I'm the solemnizer, helping ROM, and we know the government is so concerned that nobody want to marry even when during they are young, Singaporean, or even married, they want to have kids. Because when you have a children, there's a responsibility. Financially, it must be okay in order to bring out your children. So far, and who's going to take care of your children when we go to work? Husband and wife go to work, that kind of thing. Now, so this question is whether we encourage younger children, generation to have a children, and because, when there is a birth according to the Dharma, there's sure to be affliction. Affliction? You see, we're going to cover these terms later in the textbook. All right? So since we talk about affliction, I'm going to tell you. Now, this affliction, Chinese called 烦恼. All right? But having said that, as you know, in English context, Buddhist English, usually have a different expression. Unlike Chinese, 烦恼 two character. But in English, you can use affliction or mental defilement. Have you heard before? Mental defilement. Wow, this whiteboard must go and clean, Very dirty, The whiteboard, because you have to use thinner, go and clean. Otherwise, it's either whiteboard dirty or the duster dirty. Have to clean out. That's why you see, you can see the background so dirty one, Because I'm teaching using whiteboard, that's why I got experience. Sorry, my feedback, although you're not really happy. A lot of people don't like your feedback one, Especially the negative feedback,没面子, no face, That's called ego. That's why we want to learn Buddhist Dharma, right? No self. We practice no self. You have a self, ego there, very egoistic. How can you tell me this sort of thing? You cannot tell me. You must say, I'm very good. Praise to me. Just like praise the virtue to the Buddha, praising, 赞叹. Now, so in general, any defilement, is actually, I said before, mental defilement, right? Or emotion which obscure our mind, the mind. That's why in Buddhism, we talk about cultivation, 修行, cultivating the Dharma. All right? If you want to use it short, purifying mind, right? Purifying our mind, contaminated mind. Okay? Chinese called 静心. You want to learn both, because I know English, so I tell you both. So if you want to know Chinese name or the term, I tell you. So if you want to know 静心. Right? English called pure mind, right? Of course, when next time you go to module 3, that one more interesting. That one very profound one. Okay? The last chapter, talk about Bodhisattva path. They will talk about Yogacara, mind only school. And this actually something like, in Buddhism, talk about Buddhist psychology. So Buddhism is very wide one, very broad, not just, not only philosophy, it's a literature, it's a history, it's a psychology, it's a science. Definitely it's a religion, I told you before, right? So you can face a challenge. Unlike other religions, you may talk about philosophy. For instance, I'm not commenting. You say, who created God? Then no answer, right? So, they stop there. So obscure the mind, so they are often summarized as 3, ignorant. So when you go to module 2, so module 2 will really touch on the Buddha Dharma. But having said that, this module 1 is the foundation is so important, right? Very significant. Okay, you must build up a strong foundation. So before you can go further. Okay? So don't overlook it. This one very simple one, I know. But they make sure they have the right understanding. Positive thought. So that's very important. To give us a right direction. Okay? So, now, ignorance, Chinese called 无明. Ignorance, right? Attachment, Chinese called 执着. Okay? And aversion. Okay? And aversion. So all other negative predisposition are produced on the basis of these 3. Alright, summarize for these 3. Okay? Then mental factors that produce state of mental torment. Alright, so both immediately and in the long term. So they will affect us in the long term. And this is how we need cultivation to solve all these problems, right? Especially we talk about aversion. Now, let me answer these 2. In fact, it's 2 questions. Now, of course, in Buddhism, so birth is suffering. You just imagine, I'll give you an example. In this classroom, include all the volunteers and staff, and me, myself, more than 50, right? Now, even among us, I'm the only monk, Not all are monks and nuns, right? So it's very rare to be a monastic people. I mean, to ordain, take up the robes. So you don't worry. Those generations, some people say, if you all are monks or whatever, then you cannot pass down for so many generations, right? So that's definitely sure that some people will marry one. Of course, some people prefer single, So human beings are emotional ones. Sometimes, all these are due to causes and conditions. Now, when you study module 2, you will know that according to the 12 links, all right. So beside husband and wife, birth, sperm and egg, that's not enough, So according to non-Buddhist one, the perspective, they need soul to come in, soul, 灵魂. But in Buddhism, we don't believe in soul. Because when you talk about soul, you will recognize that there's an ontology in psychology, in the philosophical term. They call it, there's a philosophical term called ontology. Have you heard before? Right? Chinese called 本体论. You will recognize there's an existent, permanent nature there. But in Buddhism, don't talk about permanent. In Buddhism, talk about impermanent. And because of impermanence, cause suffering. Right? Just like yesterday, you see, all of a sudden morning, right, sunshine, all of a sudden 11 something or 1 something heavy rain, So sudden one, Oh, how to prevent? Although we cleared out the drainage or whatever, right? But this one cannot be avoided because it's all of a sudden and so heavy some more. You need time to water flow, right? To flow out or whatever. So, this so-called like the, we call 本体论. So we don't believe. So we need, in Buddhism, talk about consciousness. Consciousness must go in. So even you marry, some people cannot pregnant, Why cannot pregnant? Besides sperm and egg, but you need consciousness come in. So-called like they talk about soul. Of course, Buddhism to talk about soul. Without that one, you cannot give birth, Some people marry for 20 years, 30 years, even one mosquito also cannot come out. Right? Then I had to go to Waterloo Street and Chiu Guan Yin. You know, there's a Guan Yin called Song Zi Guan Yin, you know, give you children one. This is actually the Chinese culture they believe. Okay? So therefore, all depend on your condition. Right? Some people want to marry, some people want to be single. It's up to you. Now, of course, birth is suffering in one sense, right? Now, birth, according to Buddhism, only human beings can cultivate Dharma. Correct? I told you before, right? Human being. So therefore, when you give birth, whether boy or girl, you give them the opportunity to come to this world so that they can cultivate Dharma. Because when you're born as a human being, according to Buddhism, you know, one of the 6 cycles, this is considered good fortune, you know. 2 good realms, you know. One is a divine being, one is a human being, you know. So from this sense, you may think that, yeah, although they are suffering, but they come to this, rather than go to other realm, you know, animal, hungry ghosts. So at least they come to this earth, this world, then there's a possibility they can learn Dharma. Opportunity is there. So from this perspective, of course, you don't say encouraging or discouraging. So it depends on the young people. Some young people doesn't mean that you're encouraging that I will give birth, we will marry and give birth. As I say already, you're going to stay together 20 years, 30 years, you also cannot pregnant. You know what I mean? Exactly the same. So next time I teach you in the module 2, even we talk about the travelings. And some people say from the scientific the kind of technology, they will tell you, you know, how to give birth, whether you know it's a boy or girl. Some people want to know beforehand, pakwa, then consult fortune teller, right? But Buddhism will tell you, you know, boy or girl, how to determine it. You know, interesting, right? If you are planning to have a children, right, just stay put for module 2. The answer will be there and waiting for you. Now, so is it because when there is a birth, according as I told you already, of course there's a birth, you're bound to have a karma and suffering and so on and so forth. That's why you see, just like our hand, you know, pause this side and that side, both sides one, you know. But usually you see on one side, we didn't see on the other side. And we see on this side is always a negative one. Always negative one. But we didn't see there's a hope there for positive side. There's a hope there. Okay, now, thing is a very fair one. We always talk about give and take. It's just like you come here Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, although it's 10 because I know they wake up very late. If I say start at 8 a.m., nobody want to come. I was talking to the wall. 8 a.m. must be joking, man. 8 a.m. I cannot wake up, you know. You know, Sunday I want to sleep longer, you know. And some people go from Monday to Saturday, they sleep very late, wake up very early, go to work. And Sunday they sleep to make sure that, you know, Sunday sleep until 12 o'clock. You know, because Monday to Saturday not enough sleep. But this is a wrong concept also. Okay, so therefore I don't know whether to answer your question. Yeah, I mean just give you a very brief one. So we are not encouraging, but you know, it's up to the children. You don't worry one, you know. And even they have a children, you just think about, you know, give them opportunity, you know, to come to this earth, you know, this world, and you know, at least to cultivate Dharma so that in future can transcend from the 6th cycle. Wow. I mean, from this perspective, it's a good thing to have a children. You know. And don't worry, everybody will become monk and nuns. They no children, no nothing. You don't worry. You see, more than 50 here, I'm the only one satu orang. Correct, no? But if you talk about bogus monk, yeah, definitely a lot of bogus monk and nun. And recently I heard one student outside, wow, no time more. Actually, a story to tell you. So back to the lecture first next time. Okay, back to your textbook, page 12. Believe me, you know, my student monk also like to listen to my lecture because I talk everything one. Politics, everything I also talk. But if you don't like politics, let me know. But politics also linked to the Dharma, don't worry. So Dharma, as I say already, you should be able to apply in your daily life. Not just chanting, you cook, you know, Guan Yin Pusa, oh, then spiritual power to bless you. You know. And this is not the Buddhist kind of explanation, talk about spiritual power, sentong, you know, bless you, whatever, right? Some people are always mistaken, you know. Buddha, you know, I worship to you, I give 4 apples, you know. You must return me at least 4 apples or 6 apples to me, you know. So bargain, just like doing business. Okay, so last lecture we talked about the praise for the virtue of the Buddha. So now, one by one, we will praise the virtue of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, right? Called Sanpao, 3 treasure, right? Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, all right. It's just you know, I told you I went to the church. They praise to the God. God, glory of the God, Almighty God. And they raised up the hand one, very emotional one. I went to the church. God, God, please help me. Just like dancing, Not like us, Buddha, 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 the other way around, Not passionate enough. Okay, see the title there. Can you see the verse 5? Shall we read together? 1, 2, 3. Louder and faster. I think I read up myself faster and save time, because all the consistent, some slow, some fast. Now, I said the true Dharma is the body of the Buddha. Now, in future, when you go to module 3, last module, you will know that there's a 3 body of the Buddha, right? Dharma body of the Buddha, and the reward body of the Buddha, and manifestation of the body of the Buddha. Just like Shakyamuni Buddha was born in 2006 in India. All right. So when you talk about this Dharma body of the Buddha, Chinese called Fa Shen, and this is a spiritual body of the Buddha. Means it's beyond time and space. Although now you can see Shakyamuni Buddha here in Singapore, in India, you can't see him anymore. But his spirit, his teaching, is still around. So luckily, we still can follow his teaching. Although he's not around, physically not around, but we can refer to the textbook, his teaching. So we just follow accordingly. And this is called Dharma body of the Buddha. So when you worship to the Buddha, they don't will tell you, unlike those people who don't know the Dharma, Buddha teaching, they worship at the Buddhist lodge or downstairs main hall there, worship to the Buddha, they just worship, and they are very superstitious. I'm seeking for blessing, and bless me, good health, and good business, a lot of money, can stay in the bungalow, condo, can have a nice wife and husband, and so on and so forth. Right? So, but if you know the Dharma, you worship to the Buddha, when you do the prostration, both palms, you just show up. So there's a significant, the meaning there, why you want to do that. And later I'll tell you in the textbook. You see? So it's good to have an education, you know the Dharma teaching. When you put into practice, whether you're doing chanting or doing voluntary work, it's more meaningful. And this is called merit already. I mean, the true merit you have. Okay, please refer to a textbook here. Now, we refer to first paragraph. So, Buddha is Sanskrit word meaning awakened one. I told you before, awakened one, perfected one, enlightened one, You say awakened one, we are all sleeping one. Sleeping, a lot different. Because Buddha awake, very alert one. Buddha got 32 marks, 32 身, 32 marks. You look at the ear, very long one. And look at his eye, very bluish one. You look at you, I couldn't sleeping one. And how come the ear so long, how come this one so broad, whatever, the shoulder? This is because happened in India. This is how they assess whether you're good looking or not in India, ancient India. But now different, right? Now different generation. How you address him at times, say, oh, you're very handsome, you are very pretty. That's different perspective, no? It's different perspective, no? I say you're very pretty, no? Your husband say you're very pretty, that's why I marry you, For me, I say, not so pretty. That's why, You know what I mean? No? So whether pretty or ugly is no answer, no fixed answer one, depends on individual one. Why not? Yeah. So awakened one. So what the Buddha realized was a true Dharma. True Dharma, Chinese called Zhen Fa, means Buddha's teaching. The true Buddha teaching. So when you heard something, whatever, and this is not true Dharma, my student told me outside, he said, one coffee shop there, there's a guy, horrible, anyhow talk about Dharma, Buddha teaching, to tell people, show off that he know everything. I tell one thing, if those people know a lot of things, you should be very humble one. And those Pua Tan Sai one, Hokkien, know a little bit only, or try to show off, Oh, I finished the whole textbook, what is that? The way to Buddhahood. Then when you walk, can feel the wind one, ya papaya, we say, or whatever. These people are very arrogant one. And he anyhow encourage people to go and become monk, and go all the way to Thailand in the cave one, and that Gong Tao, they just me kui. And those cave one, you better be careful. You come here, this one got main entrance, everything open concept, You go to cave, ulu one, You don't know whether got snake or whatever, Correct. We want to learn something, we must close the door. Open the door, let people come in. You close the door, you go to those. Last time, my time I went to Toa Payoh, they say, this one, Because I came here for chanting, then those brothers and sisters say, hey, bring it to one place. That one also Buddhism one. I said, see, man. Yeah. So after lunch, we took the bus, went over to Toa Payoh. I know that one is Toa Payoh. You know, last time, 一贯道, not legal one. You know, 一贯道, not legal one, but now legal, right? You know, they hide in the HDB flat. You see a lot of sleeper outside, no? They close the window. You also saw it. Then the moment you step in, then they got statue, no? It's Maitreya Buddha, no? Smiling Buddha. I say, Buddhism, you statue, ma. Everything is the same, no? But the reason person, they call 点传师, no? They wear like me, that kind of, it's a blue color, lah. That one, you know, 一贯道, 它是五教合一 combination of 5 religion, and people like it, no? 隆重 tampo. You know that people like to eat 肉夹吗? 隆重 under protected, you know, Muslim Hindu you know, Christianity Catholic Buddhism Taoism, wow, no, all well protected, you know, east, west, south, north, long to protected. You see, people have this kind of concept, you see. Now, I thought that one is Buddhism, but that one is not Buddhism. 一贯道 is not Buddhism. You know the Waterloo Street, Sibei. I heard now a lot of youngsters go there. Now youngsters also very superstitious one, no? Especially for female, no? 查某真多咧。你睇什麼代志哦？ Cannot tell people, all very secret one, you know. They just me quick, you know. Can't find a boyfriend or whatever, can't get a good job, and then go there and pray, then drive Mercedes or go there one, you know. Something like that. But tell me, Waterloo Street, no Buddhism, no. Although they worship the Guan Yin statue. You want to buy the statue, nobody control you, no income tax, no need to pay income tax on ma. You have money, can go to shop, get one already. Taoism also worship to the one Maolan, 跳观音, you know, medium. 跳, you might 跳, you study, you don't 跳. You know what I mean? No? So that one is 一贯道. That one is 先天道, not Buddhism. Okay, back to here. Now, so which can also be translated as a wonderful Dharma. We call it 妙法, Chinese called 妙法. All right, wonderful Dharma. Why wonderful? Because you cannot use a common sense, your knowledge going to explain, right, to know the kind of Buddha's teaching. Because Buddha's teaching, you know, is only theory, just a knowledge. But we have to practice the Dharma in our daily life in order to generate wisdom. And wisdom cannot tell one. The true Dharma cannot tell through the mouth or word. It's beyond word. That's why it says inexpressible, inconceivable, unthinkable. Cannot use our brain to think one. It's beyond our thinking. That's why I say beyond concept. All right? Now, so the Dharma governed by the law is immutable. So it is true that, the equidistant, right, from extreme. This is what we'll talk about next time, we call it middle path, right, 中道. People always fall into the two extreme, you know. Even you talk about cultivation, using like whether, just as Shakyamuni gone through 6 years ascetic life. You know, ascetic life, he tortured himself, you know, or pleasure seeking in the palace. So both are considered two extreme, right? We won't be able to seek the truth. You can't seek the truth, you know, to find out the truth, realize the truth, because if they adopt, you know, middle path, right? Next time I will tell middle path, and this is a very important teaching in Buddhism. 中道, Chinese called 中道. Now, if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, they say this is called the Dharma, the Buddha. So the Buddha who has a true Dharma, right, as his body, and this is called Dharmakaya, right? So when you see Kaya, in English means body, Kaya. So if you want to learn Sanskrit, as long as you know Hokkien, I'm Hokkien, if you're Hokkien, very easy to learn now. You know Kaya, what Kaya? You know, nowadays you see the Kaya very difficult, right? Roti, you know, last time when you eat the bread, what Kaya, you know? Kaya lo. So Kaya means body. So Dharma Kaya means Dharma body. So it's a spiritual body. Alright? It's we call it, refers to Buddha's teaching, right? Okay, I don't read one my line, The rest you read up, because I just highlight to you those important things whereby I think you need to know, you know. And if, when you go back, then you read line by line. If you don't know, you ask me. Otherwise, we cannot finish already. Okay, please refer to page 13. Can you see the first paragraph? So when the Dharmakaya, or the Dharma body, and the vital wisdom, right, reach perfection, right, reach perfection. You know, perfection Chinese called 究竟 ma. It means 100 is 100. No discount one, not 99.999. No. 100, that means 100. It's called perfection. Anything below 100, for instance, is considered imperfect already. Okay, people like us, we are all imperfect. Even you talk about God, also imperfect. And when you always expect people must be very perfect, do you think it's fair? Everybody are imperfect. You expect people have to be very imperfect. You also considered imperfect. Correct now? And so, therefore, we always penalize people. We will never reflect to ourselves. Right? So when you do meditation, last time student asked me, when you talk about meditation, I can teach you a little bit. Because this is not meditation class. This is the Dharma class. Right? So meditation, in the way, one of the objectives is to self-reflection. To reflect ourselves. It's just like we talk about Dharma mirror. Always people see the mirror, you look through the mirror before you come here. Why you want to look to the mirror? Because you want to look to yourself, to see yourself, whether you got any pimples, this and that, do some makeup, then come here. But I know you do makeup one because look at your face, I know it. Because people say come to temple, cannot make up. And wear that those beggar clothing one, here one hole, the other one hole. Then they have an iron, and people wearing the colors, always that color, you can recognize one, You wear the clothing are always the same one, Probably the clothing is only Sunday come here and wear one in your cupboard. This one working clothing, and this one come to police lot one. Some people do that. And always sitting there, this student, this guy, always sitting here one. They don't want to move one. And you don't need to ask her to show you the seat number. Already, seat number there already. Even the student don't come to the class, that seat is empty seat. Nobody want to take the seat one. It's just like, I'm joking, just like, worship to the brother, Ho Ya Di 7 months, that one empty seat one, you cannot see. The one's for ghost spirit and seat one. And the one is VIP seat, all front row. They see one show, see Ge Tai, whatever, right? Yeah. Why you laugh so long? Okay. Now, so this accomplishment deserves the trust and respect of all sentient beings. So reverence is expressed in worship. It's just like you worship to the Buddha. The one just how we do in the very simple one, because this classroom do have a cushion. Training. Next time if they stay, use this classroom for permanent for teaching, you ask them to provide a pai dian so that I can prostrate. Otherwise I follow your just bow only, right? And this is called bow. Bow is so simple one, just 90-degree bow. This is the simplest one in Buddhism. Prostration, it means 顶礼. You show the palm, both for your palm, raise up, And that one also got, I told you before, just now, right? They have a significant meanings behind why we do that. There must be a reason why we do that. There must be a reason why you come here. It's just like you don't tell me only, ma. There must be a reason why you come here. Don't tell me you got nothing to do Sunday. A lot of things to do, cycling, exercise, go East Coast, Nowadays they can increase to 40% a group of people go for jalan-jalan, right? Local tour, right? You read the newspaper, they go to Ubin Island or whatever. Why? Singaporean boating kima so small, ma. Right? Other travel cruise, Cruise, we say 100,000 people already, the business very good, not too bad, otherwise they'll die already. And you want to expect traveling, not easy nowadays. It's very unlikely at the moment. You look at Canada, you look at France, right? You look at Japan, Korea, Hong Kong. We don't know. We have to have a bubble, travel bubble. Even you want to go to Hong Kong, even they cut down to 7 days quarantine. You should know, right? Read newspaper, right? Yeah. Okay. So express worship, bowing. Just how we did the bowing and greeting, a bodily worship, right? Praising the Buddha's virtue is verbal worshipping because through your mouth. Wow, photo, this praise to God. Just I went to the church, God, Almighty God. They do that. Right? But I went to the church, I find it very tense. It's a pressure to me because very strong, we call it magnetic and that kind of thing. And this is how they influence people. Then they go around sing. Then they ask me, only 2 newcomers. One of the South African lady, the one very fat one, just a summary, very fat one. Then I'm the one, only 2 newcomers. Then they don't give out even one, This is how they, very passionate. They will sing the holy song, one round already. Then they say, okay, the pastor, they say, okay, let me worship for you to the God and you become Christian or whatever. And then they look at me, come on, must be joking. How can I become Christian? I'm wearing this one, but of course I wear that because the weather so cold. So I put on everything. So you don't know that I'm a monk. Probably it's a beggar, The beggar like that one, please, that was England, I give him £1, he throw into the train, You say, what is £1? That one is high-class beggar. I always remember, high-class beggar. He give you £1 in my he want 10 pounds, He said £1 not enough, you know what I mean? And you know how can a welfare state they get £200 per week? In England, you don't need to work. It's a welfare state, They give you £200 per week, You want to know more? No time. Next time. I can tell you a lot of things. Okay, so this is verbal worship, and trusting with respect is a mental worship. So this is considered three wholesome acts. So in Buddhism, this is to purify our mental, verbal speech, and physical. Right? 身口意 in Chinese. And this is how we talk about cultivation, to cultivate these three, to purify these three wholesome karma. Okay? Okay, next paragraph. So in the epithet, the oral one of two perfection, okay, which praises the Buddha with two perfection of good fortune and wisdom. That's why I told you just now, when you worship to the Buddha, you do prostration to the Buddha, always do that. Right? But you know why we do that? Here is the answer. One is a good fortune from the Buddha, 福报. One is the wisdom, 慧. So that means 福慧双修. You have to cultivate both good fortune as well as wisdom. So when you prostrate to the Buddha, you respect to the Buddha, you want to learn the Buddha, his good fortune, follow his teaching, and the wisdom. So this is called considered two perfection, according to the text here. Okay? Now, so in addition to the Buddha, Bodhisattva also have great good fortune and great wisdom. That's the reason why they become Buddha and Bodhisattva. Great good fortunes, 很大的福报, and great wisdom, 大智慧. But let me tell you, this textbook is not criticizing other religions. Let me make it clear. It's just to tell you what is Buddhism, and from our perspective. Of course, you talk about Hindu God. I learned it Bhagavad Gita. I mean, when I learned Sanskrit also, we also learn about Hindu God. And I told you I got Christian friend. So that way it's okay, because they are still within the sixth cycle. Talk about God in the realm of God, right? Heaven. But in Buddhism, of course, we consider imperfect. Imperfect doesn't mean that it's no good, Imperfect is just like anything below 90, But what we want is, you want to pass with flying color. You want to get 100 marks. But as long as you got 60 marks, you're passed already. Just like Taoist God, because at least they ask you to do good things, right? But some people are, according to Buddhism, because you got the wisdom, they want to asking for more. You want the more perfect one. You want to pass with flying color. You want to get 100 marks, and Buddhism can offer you. Just like you want to go to postgraduate study to do a PhD or master, so your standard will be higher, right? If not, just a bachelor degree, BA, more than enough. I mean, graduate from university. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, can you look at the other verse, number 6? So, I read it myself. So Buddha of the 3 periods are innumerable. So Buddha of the 10 directions are also countless, having come to the impure world because of this compassionate vow. Okay? Shakyamuni Buddha is deserving to our worship. Why you want to worship to our Buddha? Because the world is suffering. And now we see the world is changing. And you see everything can happen. And according to Buddhism, according to Christianity, they say this is the end of the world, 世界末日. Because the earth going to destroy very fast. And according to Buddhism, according to Buddha, he already predict, or according to his teaching, all things are impermanent. Impermanent. Anything can happen. The thing form, condition, due to condition, causal condition, and the thing will be destroyed when there's no more condition there. Right? So we didn't say, is Buddha say this is the end of the world. And you can see the signs already. You talk about COVID-19. Let me tell you, the thing won't disappear so fast. You have to wear the mask. If everyone not to cooperate, right? Breach the rule, unhygiene, everything, and the virus still around. And we have to wear this one until we die, go to the coffin. I mean, this is my personal view, also from the Buddhist perspective. But all this, our shared karma, is our action. So we have to face it. We have to face all those consequences. The thing can be solved? Yes, the thing can be solved, but not easy.
Because this is the whole world problem. It's not Singapore problem. It's not your family problem. It's the whole world. You want the whole world to cooperate. Do you think it's easy? No. You look at Japan. They want to pour the nuclear water to the sea already. They give you I just tell you first before I do that. And you will see, there's nothing to do because the ocean, the sea is so big. Singapore is, even if you take few hours, 6-hour flight to Japan, Tokyo. So nothing to affect me. Who say? The surrounding country, they are very sensitive, right? Mainland China, Taiwan, South Korea, North Korea. All these are all nearby countries. They definitely have to voice up. You know what I mean? And this nuclear plant, they got no choice because they have to mix the seawater to recycling and go and cool down the plant or whatever. So you have to pay for the price. That's for sure one. No free meal in this world. No free meal in this world. So I'm joking, you better be careful. Some people treat you so nice. One day it's beyond your expectation. Then you better be careful. Some intention behind. Okay, they treat you very nice. So next step they say, can we go out for lunch or coffee? This is called courting time, because the intention is to make friends with you. I mean, for example, But if some people treat you so nice, say, can you come to Buddhist Lodge for classes? Then you better don't reject. Yes, I'm coming. You see, they put the banner and say, the road to the heaven. The Christianity, the church, they put the banner outside, the road to the heaven. 天坛之路, You believe in God, you go to the heaven. But you can't see the banner in the Buddhist temple outside, You want to go to the Pure Land? Please follow me. No. Or you say, no self. Who knows? This is a very profound philosophy. Who knows? He said, no self. They say go to the heaven, there's a self. I go to the heaven. He said, no self. Then who go to the Pure Land? Right? It's very profound teaching. And this sort of like kind of promotion, how to advertise your thing. I mean, Buddhism lack of this kind of thing. Very conservative. Cannot smile, cannot joke. Cannot tell people. I told you already. Even the young couple, they hold their hand together when they come to the temple. I don't know you, You don't know me, We are not friends, They scared, They say, come to the temple. Can I say, I love you, you love me one,罪过, You go to the hell. They say, you go to the hell. The kind of thing. Yeah. Wow. That's why I see a lot of Buddhist temple. You want to see the young people, City Harvest Church, very difficult one. You look at City Harvest Church, although some Christians, they don't recognize it or whatever. Because they are very open. They are very open. A lot of youngsters. So I don't know their intention. Some people, I cannot deny the fact people go there just to, want to believe it and learn the Bible teaching. They do have some people do that. And some people do have kind of intention. I want there, I go there. There's an opportunity for me to know some young people. Correct? If I come to the temple, or LKK one, they don't like it. LKK? No, LKY, LKK, right? Lao Kok Kok. Sorry, I didn't say you're Lao Kok Kok. I mean, Last time I taught one student, the children bring the mother, Mommy, 你说那边很多年轻人，为什么去那个 temple 很多老 Kok Kok 的嘞？我 mother， 你骗我。He said, Mother, you tell lie, you lie to me, He said, go there and see a lot of youngsters, auntie one. So they say that. Okay. So Buddha of the three periods. Okay, I explained to the verse. I don't see you go and refer to yourself the content there. And let's go something I want to highlight to you. Now, Buddhas of the three periods of innumerable. These three periods we are talking in terms of times. 时间, past, present, future. Okay? So what is the past? We started at 10 o'clock. What is the present? Now 10:50. What is the future? 11:30. We're going to dismiss the class. I know you are looking forward. Right? So past, present, future. So we are talking this in terms of time. 站在时间的观念. If you chant the Diamond Sutra, 金刚经, alright? If you chant the Diamond Sutra, if you know Chinese, if you chant this, got one phrase, 过去心不可得, 现在并不可得, 未来心不可得. Correct? If you know Chinese, that means although Buddhism talk about 3 periods, right? 3 periods. But from the Dharma perspective, we should have to go beyond time, right? You have to go beyond time and space, right? You have to go beyond that because time and space is within 6 cycles. So you want to beyond that, that means there's no past, present, and future. Then you say, this is a paradox. You say no past, present, future. Very funny. Now this one to tell us that we cannot attach to the time. I give you an example. If you are sitting here, you keep on thinking, now what time? 10:50 already. Wow, still got 40 minutes more before 11:30, you know. So you find yourself, because you're constrained, right? You're constrained by the time already, present and future. So you find very uncomfortable. But if you go beyond that, how to go beyond that? You're so focused, you attend the class attentively, very focused on the Dharma teaching. 你忘记时间了。You know, you don't care just now we started at what time. You don't know, I don't want to know now is what time. Even I don't know even later on what time for later on. I so focused. I only treasure now. At this moment. Congratulations. This should be the case. And this is called concentrated mind. If you are sitting here and you pretend like that, when you think about just now, what you have done, and now you're thinking, later on planning to go Orchard, to go eat something, char kway teow, liong tau hu, which is more better. Because here the food is no good, so you think about something like that. You're going to miss something, some people, you know, another appointment, something like that. So they miss, you are not so concentrated. Okay? And this is called beyond time and space, beyond time. So it's innumerable. So Buddha's of the 10 directions. Last time I mentioned to you 10 directions. This one talking in terms of space. East, west, south, north, you know, up, down, everything. So 10 direction means all rounded. So the 10 direction of the Buddha, 十方佛啊. So when you worship to the Buddha, according to Master Yin Sun, we have to, in our mind, we have to think that, in fact, I worship to all the 10 direction of the Buddha, not just one Buddha. So don't worry. You worship to释迦牟尼佛is something that you worship to Amitofo. It's the same thing because all 10 direction of the Buddha. So I always joke with a student, Amitofo sometimes will pay a visit to Shakyamuni Buddha, have a tea party there. Oh, 谁去你那边的？在那有八卦something like that. So you have to think in your mind that I think that I worship to all the Buddha, 10 direction, not just one Shakyamuni Buddha. So they are also countless. They are also countless. Okay? It's just like in Buddhism talk about beginners of time. There's no ending, there's no beginning. 无始无终. Why they say that? Because in Buddhism talk about dependent origination. All things are dependent on causes and conditions. So you keep on tracing. You can't find the... Just like this one, depend on this one, depend on this one. Just a molecule, you study science or whatever, you know, physics. Then this one also depend on this one. And this one also depend on this one. So you can't find the starting and you can't find the ending. Okay? So in Buddhism, talk about time is beginner's time and no ending. Why? Because Buddhism talk about dependent origination. And this we'll study in your module 2. Okay? Let me tell you, very interesting. And the last module is very profound one. Because I've done the course at the Bright Hill Temple, and that English class is more, last time before pre-COVID time, more than 100 students there. I think it's a very good response. I'm very pleased to see that because most of the educated people, English educated one, they usually go to the church, you know, whatever. And you hardly see the conductor speaker delivery in English and that kind of thing. And even hardly see the Buddhist textbook in the market, you know, especially this kind of textbook. Of course, you can see the English textbook, Buddhist textbook in the market. You know, mostly they are Tibetan Buddhism or Theravada Buddhism, right? But this one is cover everything. They are not biased. They've covered module 3, module 2 will tell, you know, sort of like Theravada Buddhism, and you go to the last module, it's considered that one is a great vehicle, Bodhisattva vehicle. You know, so in fact, it's cover everything. So it's not biased. I told you already, very comprehensive and very systematic. You see, I can tell you, I'm very sure in Singapore, all right? I know that now want to go Bhikkhuni, going to conduct chapter 4 here. But having said that, she's not going to conduct the whole chapter. And especially the last chapter. It's not easy. I'm not liar. It's not easy. But it's very interesting. And that one is very important one. Okay? So must be patient. some people are very impatient. Time is already fly one. But moreover, COVID time, you cannot go any other place. You cannot go Pure Land. You cannot go Hong Kong. You cannot go wherever. So must just stay put and study Dharma class. What to do? Okay, 10 directions of also countless. So having come to the impure world, we call it defiled world. Or the word called defiled world. If you chant Om Tor Jing, here they focus on the Pure Land, right? Near Om Tor Fo. Now, so when you chant the Om Tor Jing, if you know Chinese, there's a term called 5 impurity. 5 impurity, Chinese called 五浊. Okay? 五浊二世, I mean, you chant the Om Tor Jing. So this defiled world, that means impure. These world are impure. Of course, definitely it's not pure world. It's a pure world, then we call Pure Land. But we can fulfill to change this world, defiled world to Pure Land or to pure world. But that solely depends on individual. Everybody has to play their part. Doesn't mean that pure world doesn't mean that you have to clean properly. Yesterday I went out to buy something. My student fetched me to went out to buy something. And I find that Singaporean, very selfish. I am Singaporean, I know. And people are very selfish. It's not in your house, it's outside your house, in the public place. Who care? In Taiwan, they want to call we care. We say, who care? Who care? The mask, you use it already. You must go and tighten up and throw it in the dustbin. You just throw on the road. Then it's unhygiene. Then can't you see the virus? Sure got virus on. Then you say how to prevent this COVID. Even having 2 jabs. In Malaysia, the news came out. One group of 40 medical staff. They got it. After 2 jabs, they got it. So this jab it's not 100%, It's not like protection, but it's not totally, fully protected, But what to do? So you cannot say, I jab already, so I don't need to wear mask or whatever. Some people don't wear mask on. And sometimes people say, I'm very lucky. I won't get it one. I won't get it one. I come for Dharma class, Buddha bless me. I got 36 Dharma protector. They protect can't, no? Sometimes they are on sabbatical leave, on leave at Boti, You have to protect yourself. You want to on leave, he also want to on leave. Why not? So people have this kind of... If the Buddha can protect you, it's more than 1 year already. Then he should protect us. Don't need to go for vaccine. Don't need to wear the mask. All come, more than 100 students. I heard they say 140 students signed up for this class. They all, come for the class. Don't need to say 50, 50, 50. Because all protected. I told you already, this is karma. Spiritual power cannot override karma one. We have to solve ourselves because it's our own action. We done that, we have to face it. Okay, so impure world, because of this compassionate vow. Compassion? 慈悲. Compassion is different from love, So next time you study the last module, of course we will talk more about this compassion, but right now I can tell you, what is compassion? How to define the word compassion? Strictly speaking, in Buddhism, we talk about compassion. But from the mundane perspective, you cannot say compassion. This is our Buddhist term. Chinese called 慈悲, right? Now, what is compassion? Compassion is beyond love. You may want to explain in this way. I'll give you an example. In Christianity, they talk about universal love. Heard before? You should know. Universal love, right? 博爱. Chinese called 博爱. Chinese word. Universal love. But in Buddhism, when you talk about love, there's 2-way one. I love you. When conditions arise, I say, I love you, so I marry you. If because I'm a soulnizer, I know that. Because you do the swearing, I love you forever, whatever. This some who don't have to pretend, because you want to marry already, just pretend. Then sometimes I say, got one time the couple say, 师父, we want to say ourselves, you don't need to say for us. Because I got standard SOP, No, standard one, SOP, standard operating procedure from ROM one. So that one, when I went for induction course, 2 hours course before get a certificate. Then I say, okay, got Chinese English one, conduct both. I can conduct both. I say, okay, 你要我跟你讲吗? I say, do you want me to do it for you? So it's very simple. Just say, yes, I do, yes, that kind of thing. So simple. So everything, in fact, very simple. This solemnizer is just, you need a signature from solemnizer, You just need a signature, But when you're looking for the religious person, whether in the church, you're looking for pastor, priest, or in the temple, religious person. Now, on top of that, we have to do the blessing speech or whatever, according to government, say, okay, Buddha bless you, that kind of thing or whatever. Now, so this couple told me, say, Venerable, 我们自己写好的, he's spoken to me in Mandarin. I said, 我们自己写好的, can we do it ourselves? I said, how long do you take? Usually I take about less than half an hour plus a blessing speech. He said, very fast, about 5 minutes. That day I sabotaged by them, The house say 多过茶, they want 10 minutes. Then this guy also challenged her. Then 15 minutes. Oh my God. My God, my Buddha. It's at the end more than half an hour. Wow, 我的天啊. So I said, next time better do. I said, I do it myself. Short and sweet, So you look at one is the girls from mainland China. Chinese girls sometimes like to pretend one, They 哇，笑的，我要怎么样啊？你吃饭啊，我煮给你啦，我帮你蒸。这种 minor thing you want to tell me for what? You tell next time when you live together, you tell your husband I wash a cloth for you, I cook for you, I sweep for you, everything for you. So you pretend 你要骗谁 ？So when you marry already, not for you, for me, for me, for me. You see? So this called marry. 哎呀。You must tell lie, lie to her, she also lie to you. So both are liar. They say, how? So when I become Buddhist, can I take the 5 precepts, no lying? Wow. You see, 5% no lying, next time we cover the 5 precepts. It's talking in terms of life, In fact, everybody are lying. As a mother, you lie to your children. 你要好好读书啊, I bring you to cruise. No, I bring to Sentosa or any park garden, That one cheaper, right? You also lie to your children, but this lie is good lying, because you want him or her to study, but still lying. But that one is a very minor offense. So Shakyamuni Buddha is deserving of our worship. Because of that, then he deserves our worship. Because he have a confessional vow, come to this earth, this world, and save all sentient beings. All right. So this is he has that sort of criteria. It's worth for us to worship to him, to learn from him, especially his compassionate vow. Okay? Can you turn to page 14? Wow, I have to do it faster a little bit. Okay, you see the second paragraph, page 14. Here it says this evil world of the 5 impurity, right? 五浊恶世 in Chinese, 5 impurity. So this impurity of the age, of desire, of living beings, of thought, or some may say views in English, and of lifespan, lifespan. Okay? So the expedient mean. Now this expedient mean is a Buddhist terminology, or sometimes we call skillful mean. Okay? Chinese called 方便. So in Buddhism, you want to learn Buddha teaching, a lot of technical terms, Buddhist technical terms, wisdom. As I told you, you need to have a dictionary. Right? Well, I didn't expect you to know Sanskrit or Pali or whatever. Okay? But sometimes you have to refer to the original text. Or sometimes you use skillful mean. Chinese called 方便, 不是随便. Anyhow. Okay? This, especially in Mahayana Buddhism. Right? For instance, the Buddha, Bodhisattva want to save sentient beings, you have to use a kind of a method in order to benefit sentient beings. And these are all called skillful means. When you know the Lotus Sutra, 法华经, there's one chapter in 法华经, Lotus Sutra, they solely talk about skillful means. But only in Maya Buddhism we talk about skillful means, but not for Theravada Buddhism. Clear? So, you see, talk about Lotus Sutra here. The chapter of Lotus Sutra, expedient mean or skillful mean, say the Buddhas appear in this world, in this defiled world, evil world of 5 impurity. Right? 5 impurity. So in this evil world of the 5 impurity, those who merely delight in and are attached to the desire, people like you and me, no? We attach to the desire. Of course, those desire are bad desire. Desire, there's 2 types of desire. One is called good desire, one is called bad desire. Of course, bad desire is very simple to define because you're doing the bad things. You have a desire to harm people, to kill people, to steal something from people, money or whatever. Right? Good desire in terms of you come here for Dharma class. This is also considered as a sort of desire, to drive your motivation to come here. But this is good desire. But having said that, at the end of the world, neither good and bad, we still have to go beyond that. Because good or bad, you still attached to it. Buddhism talk about detachment rather than attachment. How come you don't have the textbook? Must get a textbook. You just listen, laughing, the other side out of it. Okay? Attached to a desire, living beings such as that. This, in the end, right, will never seek the Buddha way. Clear? This is according to Lotus Sutra. So this is called 5 impurity. Okay, can you refer to verse number 7? Now, I say his wisdom, we still under this topic, the virtue, praise the virtue of the Buddha. Right? We praise the virtue doesn't mean that we asking for blessing or whatever. We praise the virtue because we recognize, we respect the Buddha, have the kind of merit. We want to learn from him. We are all the student of the Buddha. Buddha he was a great teacher. He's just a teacher. He's not a God. He's not a God. He's a teacher. We are all students. Students, we have a lay people and monastic people like me. So we are the Buddha disciple. So we learn from our teacher. Okay? He's not a God. Buddha is not a God. Enlightened one. Right? Teacher, we can learn. Teacher, one day you also can become teacher. Why not? I'm standing here, for this lifespan. If the future life, if I don't do the good things, I was sitting there, you stand here, no? Right? So you become teacher already, you can teach the Dharma already. So, equality. It's not in ancient India, they have a different, there are 4 caste system, no? 4 caste system in India, Brahman, or whatever. Now, 4 caste system, very clear cut one, Whether you are high status or you're the lowest status, slave, just like luli, slave or whatever. Very clear cut, Even I got a friend told me the Indian in Singapore, they do that one. If you are lowest caste one, I'm the highest caste Brahmin, you cannot talk to me one, You cannot sit together with me one. You have to sit down there, sit on the floor. I'm sitting on the chair. I'm higher than you. So inequality still happen in India. And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why Buddha was born in India. We have this inequality. You see, now what time? You see, I give another example. You look at South Korea and Japan. Male and female have a different status, 男女的地位不一样的呢。Male is higher status, If you see the drama or whatever, if you go to South Korea or India or Japan, So luckily, you're female, you're born in Singapore, not too bad, no? We talk about equality, 男女平等, right? To them, it's not equality one, So luckily, if you're born in India, then they are, lor. So you must treasure your this life. You say, wow, although as a female, but I born in Singapore, we have the same status like guy, Even we are more higher than status than guy, We are more intelligent. Why you laugh like that? You are more intelligent, Now CEO, newspaper came out, government also encourage more female come to join CEO post, Or even minister, right? You also can join minister. So equality, But in India or other country, no. You go to kitchen, go and wash toilet. So like that one different, Okay, so back to here again. Now this verse number 7. His wisdom is perfect. That's for sure. 100 marks. His compassion is infinite. Compassion to save all sentient beings. There's no ending one. There's no differentiation. Because Bodhisattva Buddha do have a differentiated mind. Alright? Reasonism. Reasonism? Just because you're black, I kill you. Whatever. This happened in America. But who to blame? They are the one to blame because if you know the history behind. Right? Because they took in a lot from Africa or whatever, treat them as slave or whatever. So when they stay there, they born, they have children, whatever. So, and this is called inequality. And moreover, they got a gun. A gun is anytime you can buy one. So recently they kill a lot of people already. And this one no ending one, let me tell you. And they cannot stop gun law, Do you know why? Any president also cannot stop it, Do you know why? Only 3 do know. The rest you know. Wow, good, first time. So I don't need to give you answer. Right? So overcoming all obstruction, okay? He is totally without redundance of habit. What do you mean by redundance of habit? 仪习呀, Chinese called 仪习. What does it mean? There's another expression called residual habit. So next time we cover next module, we talk about Arahat. You will know already. Except for Buddha and Bodhisattva, the rest of for instance, we talk about Arahat, fourth function, they do have residual habit. What does it mean? It means some people have the kind of habit is beyond your control one. It's beyond your control one. And this is very refined one. Sometimes you can see through a naked eye one. You prevent it. Oh, this is a bad habit. This is a bad habit. I shouldn't do that. But some is so refined. It's something like you overlook most of the time. And you know that I cannot show my anger. I cannot have so hot temper to scold my wife, to scold my husband, to treat my children, to torture my children. I cannot do that or abuse the children. Like during the pandemic time, circuit breaker, a lot of people stay at home, jialat. 24 hours facing your wife and husband, sure quarrel and fight each other one. Now, if you go to work, I only go back to sleep, see you a few hours. And sleeping, I didn't see you, you didn't see me. Close your eye, sleep. And you wake up to different timing, different working hours. Then 8 hours working outside, sometimes work OT 10 hours, 12 hours. Then go back already, so tired already. Where got time to talk? No time to talk, whatever. So you only see your husband or wife only Saturday and Sunday. Sunday you come here for Dharma class. 2 hours don't see them. Lucky you. And now pandemic, jialat. Cannot go out one. That's why you see a lot of family got problem. Then you see the help from government, call, so many phone calls. Do you read the newspaper? This one? Also 2 no only. So these 3 virtues, all right, these 3 are equal and ultimate for all the Buddhas. All right? So, but for the sake of skillful means, then we talk about 方便, expedient means, there are difference. Why? Because solely depend on different capacity of sentient beings. 不同的根基. In Buddhism, talk about capacity means there are 2 types, whether dull capacity or sharp capacity. Dull and sharp. You see, very difficult to erase. Dull, that means 钝, Chinese. Sharp, that means 利. It means sharp means those people are very intellectual. Dull capacity, just like we say stupid. In Buddhism, talk about emotion. Just like you chan. Guan Yin Pusa, whatever, but without knowing the meaning. So for your by right should be sharp because come here to study. By left, not so sharp. By right should be sharp according to this definition. But by left, boleh. Okay, so you say there are difference. So, okay, can you turn to page 15? Wow, like that cannot finish. I jump right. Let's say example. Okay, rational habit. Can you see the 3rd paragraph here? According to the author, refers to the process of becoming accustomed to affliction from beginner's time. Right? So this is actually in connection with the affliction. Right? 烦恼. Okay? So you read it by yourself. Turn to page 60. Okay, you go to the learning one. Praise the virtue of the Dharma. Verse number 8. So the empty well is old and ruined. So this one they use the analogy, right, to illustrate this so-called Dharma Buddha's teaching. Right? So the empty village is quiet and without people. So the far shore is forested and has flowing spring. This one is another analogy. So the Dharma, honorable and beyond desires, compels our worship. Of course, we talk about the Buddha's teaching, right? It's actually going to stay away from affliction, but I should have a pure mind, and so forth. But due to time constraint, I just quote one. There's a two parable here, and we use I try to explain one of the parable. The rest you read about yourself. Okay, the second paragraph. It said the parable says that in the wilderness of birth and death, sentient beings are endowed with a body because of the karmic forces. Karma means action. So next time you know in the body module 2, right? Karma, right? Action means action. Yeah. Because our own karma, it's just like why for this COVID is our karma. Everybody have a karma, share karma here, right? So the wider vine is like it's like the root of life. Okay, so the rat gnawing the wider vine is like the encroaching of impermanent. I told you the impermanent concept. Eventually, the root of the life will break. So the dry well, the wider vine, and the rat all symbolize the cruel pressure exerted by the power force, right, of impermanent. Just like this called parable, just because of that. So this is why in the verse, the empty well is in room, in ruin. So the four snakes represent the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. 地水火风. Right, this is called four great elements. The honey, the honey is the enjoyment of the five desire. People like us, we have a desire. We thought this is permanent. We enjoy our life. In fact, we are having the karmic forces, right? Evil karma, when we having the bad deeds. So content with this smell, small happiness, people forget that they are under the stress of impermanent birth and death. Just as they are heedless, didn't aware of, heedless of the stinging bees, right? So they do not think about the bitter fruits of the five desires. So forgotten already, right? Because attached to it. Have a desire attached to the external world. We say. So how hopeless, stupid people like you and me, are even the tremendous suffering of birth and death cannot wake them up. So that's why I said we are all sleeping one. Buddha are all awakened one. Okay, this is one of the parable. The other parable you read about yourself. Please turn to page number 18. Okay. Now here, I want to highlight to you all the first paragraph here, page 18. It said this parable illustrates the three seals of Dharma. Now, this three seals of Dharma, Chinese called San Fa Yin. This is one of the Buddha's teaching. Three seals of the Dharma, San Fa Yin. So, these three seals of Dharma, the purpose of three seals of Dharma is to justify whether the text was spoken by the Buddha or not. Is it the Buddha's teaching? Or whether the speaker delivering the speech of Dharma, whether it's a true Dharma or not, so that you can justify. So it's very useful for these three seals of Dharma. So what are the three seals of Dharma? Please refer to the textbook. Number one, all Dharma has no self. So you must believe no self. 无我 doesn't mean no physical body. So if somebody tell you very egoistic, oh, you must believe me, I can bless you, I can help you, I. You see, all ego there. So you better be careful. Right? That one got self, but here thought no self. Okay, I give you an example. What is no self? For example, you are very considerate of our people. And this is called no self. If you have an ego there, I'm very selfish. You see, a lot of people are so selfish, right? Anyhow throw the mask. This is called selfish. That means they have a self. They always think about themselves first. Myself is a top priority. Not you is my top priority. So who care? You die yourself. Who care? They say, who care? I can't be bothered. So I care myself. I'm not caring for you. So this is called self. So what I mean no self? In other words, you are very considerate about people. You're a very considerate person. Always think of the people. Always think about people. Make sure you don't harm people. You must benefit sentient being, this kind of thing. And this is considered no self. Right? If you're so calculative, that means self. If you're not calculative, no self. Simple as that. And this is how you apply in your daily life. And the second one, all conditions, things are impermanent. I told you earlier, all things are dependent on causes and conditions. If things are dependent on causes and conditions, things are impermanent. Why not? If, for instance, you're now sitting here because depend on good condition, nothing happened to you, you are very healthy, no traffic jam, not like you say thundering storm, raining, heavy rain, so you can come here peacefully, smoothly come here. All these conditions, and just time got teacher come here so can conduct. But 11:30, condition no more already, because time's already. You better go out, we're going to lock out already. I have to sleep here. Right? Condition no more already. Okay? And the next one, and in nirvana is stillness and extinction. So this nirvana means, Chinese called 涅槃, nirvana, like Buddha attained nirvana, means liberation. Nirvana means liberation, 解脱. Chinese called 解脱. It means end suffering, end of suffering, right? Called nirvana. Okay, so these are the three seals of the Dharma. Clear? Okay, we move to another verse. Wow, I think must finish this verse before we stop the class. We're going to 11:30 already. Okay, verse number 9. The true Dharma is wonderful and inconsiderable. Why the true Dharma is so wonderful? Because this Dharma is not the normal teaching. Why so wonderful? Because we need to practice the Dharma. And we need to experience it. And we know out of the benefit of it. And this is how we generate the wisdom. So it's so wonderful. And inconsiderable, unthinkable. It's beyond your normal thinking. Inexpressible. Cannot be expressed. 不可说. I'll give you an example if you don't believe. Just like do the meditation. If you really enjoy it, you already get some benefit out of it. But if you want to use the amount of word to tell people how I benefit from meditation, that one is not 100% answer, no. Anything from your word from your mouth is considered imperfect already. According to Buddhism, the truth is beyond word one. In our meditation, you have to do yourself. I cannot tell you one. It's just like cultivation, using. You have to cultivate the Dharma. I cannot tell you one. I can tell you the method, but you have to do yourself. Just like give an example. If you're hungry, now 11:30 already, a bit hungry already. So I can say, brother, eat for me. I'm stupid, man. You eat for me, and then I'm still hungry, no. I'm not stupid. I eat myself, then I also eat your portion, I eat for you. So you hungry, I'm full, correct no? So 你要自己做的, you have to do it yourself. You know, we learn mathematics in the school. Mathematics, 数学, whether in secondary school, in JC or in university. The professor or teacher will tell you the equation there. S plus Y equal to Z. Whether simultaneous equation or whatever. But you have to, first thing you have to know how they derive the equation, right? Then from there, then you have to solve your tutorial. Because if you don't do it, if you don't practice it, mathematics is like that. Mathematics are my experience. 数学是这样的. If you don't do it, if you don't do the tutorial and do more often to find out the thing, I tell you, it become very rusty one. You just know only. When you come to actual on the practical ground, you cannot solve it. And this is called mathematics. You have to do it very often one. You cannot just remember the equation one. The one is not guarantee one. Correct no? I mean, if you also study in the school before. So you believe what I say, no? I don't know whether you believe or not. Okay, this is called learning mathematics. So the true Dharma is wonderful and inconsiderable, unthinkable. It is excellent, pure, permanent, and joyful. That's why I tell you, if you learn the Dharma, always say Dharma joy, 法喜充满, Dharma joy. Right? After you learn the Dharma, you should be very happy, right? But I look at the face, out of 50, no. Very serious one. Probably 不傻傻 couldn't understand. 一个头两个大 something like that. Correct or not? So we call joyful. We call have a Dharma joy. Right? You feel very happy. Wow, I come here, I learn something, I know the Dharma already. So I out from here, I know how to use in my working environment, in my family, friendship with people, this kind of thing. So, I will change my mentality a lot. More positive, something like that. So they call joyful, right? And permanent. All things are impermanent. But unlike Dharma, or we call it true, true is permanent. Why? True is beyond time and space. Once it's beyond time and space, the one is permanent. One is bondage, constrained by time and space. And this is considered impermanent already. That now you and me, we are constrained by time and space. Right? So it's impermanent. Because you cannot permanently sitting here. 11:30 you have to go. You don't know they'll kick you out. After class already. Correct or not? Well, it's like that. Okay? So you say, it is excellent, pure. Of course, Dharma is pure. We are considered impure because I live in this defiled world. Alright? Doesn't mean I take shower and I come here, I'm very clean, I'm very pure. Not refer to your body whether you take a shower or not, whatever. It's our mind. Whether we have a scattered mind or pure mind. Not the place is clean or dirty. Pure land is not the place is very clean or cleaner than here. Pure land is referred to the mind. They have a pure mind. But in this defiled world, living in this defiled world, we are all scattered mind. Our mind is impure, not pure. Okay? Now, so if one follows the way of the ancient immortal, alright, then one can attain nirvana. Ancient immortal refers to those Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. Right? They've gone through the path. Right? So here they tell us, one can attain nirvana, means one can attain liberation, 解脱. That means free from suffering. But we are all suffering now. Right? COVID pandemic, that cannot do, that one cannot do. The newspaper came out, they done the survey. They say Singapore, don't talk about other countries. In Singapore, most of the Singaporeans, they complain two things happen throughout this pandemic, especially in the phase 1 circuit breaker period. He said, number one, they cannot have a social gathering. People like to gather, Hey, go for lunch, go for tea, go for supper, go to cinema, go for tour, go for cruise or whatever, traveling. So social, because we are social animal, we cannot stay alone one. So we like the gathering. This is a social gathering. No more gathering. So they find it's a suffering. 很苦. Second, what's the second one? Newspaper came out. I will just now hinted to you answer already when I explain to you. If you guess the right answer, you can leave now. But I said no choice. It's 11:30 already lah. Oh, why got it? Exactly 11:30 already. What's the answer? You see my gesture? Say again? Yeah, correct. You can leave already. Because traveling. Cannot travel. It's really suffer for Singaporean. Correct? Because we just an island, very small space. You cannot travel, 你等于要他死嘞. Right now? So gathering, traveling. They really cannot accept one for this pandemic. So again, as a Buddhist, you practice, you stay at home also good. Some people like to stay work from home already. Nowadays, people don't want to go out already now. Because you work from home, you need to spend time on traveling, save transportation, money, and you need to make up, at home, any shot, any somewhere nicely. But the below one do it, nobody see you. Then in front of the computer, hi, boss, how are you? Dress very nicely and make up very nicely, right? But wear a short only here. Who know? So you save time for makeup, everything. And you can wake up very late, what? Who care? Who know? But some people complain to me, say, 师父, 你不能这样讲, work from home, even long working hours. True or not? Longer working hours. I don't know. I didn't see any logic there. Swaku. Now I'm swaku already. Okay, so one can attain nirvana. That means can attain liberation. Please refer to page 19. Okay, so this finishes the praise virtue of the Dharma. The next one will be the praise virtue of the Sangha. This will be the last one, Sangha. Okay, we have a quick one. Okay, so number 10 verse. To bring together the Sangha, the Buddha relied upon the Dharma. Alright? It's just like to bring you all to the temple. Why you want to come to the temple? Not because of food. Not because of food. Even temple don't give you free lunch or free dinner, free meal. Our intention to come to the temple, not because of the food. A lot of people because of food, right? You know, some people tell me, wow, I know this temple A are very good in spring roll, and this temple B, chao mi hun, fried mi hun. This one, cha kway tiao, fried kway tiao. They know chui go to Qing, then they always go on 第一天 from the day one to end of the month, then go everywhere, eat everywhere one. So let me tell you, you come to the temple not because of the food. You come to the temple because of the Dharma. And Buddha relied on the Dharma to bring all his disciples, including me, monastic and lay people. So priests must have a right concept. You come to the temple, don't complain, say, why temple don't give you meal, lunch? Why Jesus meal get lunch or whatever? This is not important. I come here not because I want the vegetarian food. You talk about vegetarian food, now there's so many vegetarian food. My student asked me to join the Facebook vegetarian food, Facebook one. A lot, now I realize there's so many. Got vegan one, vegetarian restaurant, hawker center, all over Singapore, They tell you that those famous, very delicious food, So you want to eat vegetarian food nowadays in Singapore, so common, very easy to find the hawker center. Correct or not? So don't complain and blame this and that, then 你起烦恼了咯. So this one tell you, say, something like you come to the temple because of Dharma. Just like I become monk by right, because of Dharma, not because of this clothing. Oh, 这政府穿的真色水咧that one okay. I say yeah, 真色水 this one easy to wear. There's a Chinese word, 穿的袈裟事更多. You wear this robe, there's so many things happen to you one. Unless you're 清清菜菜 monk or who care, sleep, eat and sleep that one can that one very easy monk or monastic. But if you want to do something and it's not easy one. I told you already, no free meal in this world. Remember, this is the mundane truth. So, and harmony, joy, and purity were its foundation. So this harmony is 6 harmony. I just go through it on the surface. Next lecture, I'll tell you in more in detail. Okay, so we harmony in the practical. There's 2 types of harmony: practical matters and harmony in principle. Okay, so the Sangha, most highly honored amongst assembly, compels our worship. Why you want to respect Sangha, and because of that, then we respect the Sangha. But of course, Sangha will tell you how to respect the Sangha. Some are bogus one, then how do I still want to respect them? And so forth. So this one, we'll wait until next lecture, then we will continue. So I have to speed out a little bit, because tell you so many examples, then I cannot finish, Okay? A lot of things want to tell you story. But not just simply joke, but it's really happen in your daily life. Okay? Now, anything want to ask me? If not, time's up already. Let me see. Okay, please hold the palm. The next lecture will be 2nd of May. 1st of May on Saturday, public holiday. 2nd of May, we will continue. Should be in this classroom. Okay, you wait for the staff to inform you. Okay, so you have to treasure it. People want to come, cannot come. I don't know how they arrange for people to come here and study, because they still got after 50 got other students cannot come. So I don't know. That's the organizer, they are organizing. My job is to teach. Okay, shall we do a dedication? Please hold the palm and follow me. May all the merits thus accumulated be dedicated to all sentient beings. May all sentient beings and I together attain Buddhahood. Okay, please stand up. Okay, please hold the palm. One bow to the Buddha. Okay, see you all 2nd of May.
大众礼谢法师行商问讯。
One bow to the Buddha. One bow to the Buddha will do. Okay, see you all. Bye bye.